So I'm going to start by saying I apologize to my YouTube viewers who may or may not see this on replay when it's uploaded to YouTube. The reason why I'm late right now is because I have been trying for the last 9 minutes to go live on YouTube, and everything is set up and the go live button is behind my chat box. It's like it'll load. So if you are watching this, even if you're watching as a replay and you know the solution to this, please let me know. But so I load it and then I see the go live button, but then the chat box hurry up and pops up and covers the go live button. So my YouTube people, I'm sorry. And I was, gosh, I really love streaming on YouTube. So I'm getting ready to go in. I'm going to try this one more time. And so this video here today, it's Friday, is about money and power with money being a gateway. Power with money being a gateway to our original power as transformational leaders. So I am aware of the very advanced nature of this work, and the average Black person definitely will have a hard time connecting with it, and more advancing spiritually connected Black people can connect with it further. And I'm reiterating here that I'm specifically talking about those of us who are in the transformation space, okay? Meaning we are in the business of helping people transform their lives from the inside out using our connection to high spirituality. And I don't hear people saying high spirituality. And so I'll define what that means. Before I do, I'll say this. So Melanin Transformational leaders, coaches, healers, teachers, and the like, who all fit in this domain, this is who I'm talking to. My goal is to have you restore your natural and right place as a sovereign being. Some of you, although you will never, or possibly, right? Most of us will never have hardcore evidence to prove that we are descendants of ruling class. But there is something in your blood, in your experience, okay? And only you know this. When I speak, it speaks to that often, okay? That there is, and I'm going to talk about this more next week, which is a leadership from blood intelligence. It's a very intimate relationship with the natural way that you are. And so at the highest level, that's who I'm talking to. Hello to those of you who have just joined me. Feel welcome. This is, topics I know to go deeper into something when you ask a question, when you present something that is going on in your world, a conversation, etc. And at the highest levels, and there are levels to this for those who are wondering, right? There are levels. This is not, an opinion or a need to create a division or a hierarchy. That's not what this is. This is what I've come to know through experience. This is what I've come to know by putting everyone into one course and expecting everyone to be able to move along at that level when some people are more advanced levels. Some people are just coming into their high spirituality. So what I'll do now is I'll define what high spirituality is. And I'm going to try this one more on YouTube because I really want my YouTube people. I really want to stream on YouTube. I really like YouTube. Oh, the button is right there. I swear. It's blue. It says go live. And then the chat box just shoop and covers it. And I've been able to make it the last few days, but yeah, all right, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Oh, I'm gonna share this Facebook video out. So give me 1 second and let me share this. Thank you for your patience too. To you and particularly to the replay viewers, because most people are gonna watch this as a replay. This is so important. I love YouTube, love it for multiple reasons, but I'm gonna have to figure this out too. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Almost there. Almost there. So that one person, thank you for your patience. Power with money. Power with money for Melanin Transformational Leaders. I have some announcements to make. I'm posting this to my personal page. What's going on here? The goal is to post it on my personal page. Oh, there we go. What is going on here? All right, I'm letting this go. I am letting this go. I'm letting that go. There's too much going on. I'm going to have to get a team member to handle that. So I have some announcements to make. Oh, my notes. I got to get back into the groove of things. I have not been doing a lot of video here for a while, so I'm out of my rhythm of doing things. But my notes, I have some notes here. Okay, so here are the notes. Announcements to be made. Wow, that was such a delay there. Pardon me, that will not be happening again. Even I don't like that. So this content specifically for Melanin Transformational Leaders. So, and the largeness of it, the long-term game of it. For those of you who have been watching me and I have been talking about masters, masters are Black people. I'm not saying that there's absolutely no white or people of color masters. When I say master, what I'm really talking about is those who were born with access to information that nobody else has. In order to have that information, there's a connection with source. So when I say high spirituality, as I said earlier, high spirituality is not mere, you see a lot of on the Instagram where people are like source and spirit, and there's a kind of generic essence of things, right? Am I the only one who's saying this? Where there's that, okay? When I talk about high spiritual intelligence, I'm talking about the knowing, where, as I wrote some months ago, that when you know, faith is not even necessary. Now, see, that's way out of bounds for a lot of people who rely on faith to make it through. Now, there is a place for faith, don't get me wrong. Remember when I said earlier that there are levels in spirituality, okay? When a person is really new in their connection with God, the Almighty, faith is very much necessary. When a person has been relying on their own thinking brain and logic, I just got a text blocking my screen. When a person is new to spirituality, faith is very much a necessary muscle, right? It's faith, the grain of the size of a mustard seed can move mountains, right? As you start to really get into reliance on communication from the Almighty, right? Allah, Jehovah, whatever as you start to rely on that to be the primary way that you communicate and make decisions in your life, faith becomes less and less necessary because there's a communication that's there that's incontrovertible. And it gives you information that sends chills through your body, that sends vibrations through your body that is irrefutable. Now, it may become difficult for you to share that with other people, right? Because it's outside of the norm. It's outside of the construct. This is one of the indicators that you are a master. You have material and knowledge that not everybody else knows, that not everybody else has access to. So I'm aware that there's hardly anybody here. Like one person just came in here. I'm expecting that most people will see this as a replay. So, you know what? It's not even necessary to get into that. So I just watched it. I'm seeing everything that you all are seeing with the protests and these massive protests all over the world, the Netherlands, Australia, London, Canada, all through. I'm seeing it. And I've been moved in my own way. I've already talked about this. And last year so what I'm going to get into, I'm going to tell you why I'm sharing this story, because it's important to me to communicate to you where this comes from. I'm always curious about how people get, the not merely the synchronicity of things, but the sequence. There's something about learning through storytelling. And I wrote on Facebook years ago, I actually did a screenshot of it where I talked about the restoration, the peace, the love that we're looking for. When I say we, I mean so many humans worldwide are looking for. It's not going to happen until the world starts to recognize that Black people, melanin people, are the very fabric, are the very core, are the very origin of humanity. It's like you cannot take your mother, stomp her in the neck, and destroy her and think that you are going to thrive in your life. So last year, I was walking down a popular street in Bali. I was going through my own death and metamorphosis. And I remember I had just completed facilitating a course called 5-Figure Clients for Melanin Messengers. And in that course, I learned so much about the enormity, the advanced nature of the work that I'm doing in helping melanin transformational leaders restore to their original power, how abnormal it is, how Jan Levan Zahn is doing a wonderful job, right? And there is there's a global rightness about, it's just profound. Black people should be the voices that the world turns to for solutions, because of our natural connection with the highest spiritual laws, the highest connection with God, the Almighty God. And when I was walking down the street in Bali, and I was getting the message to let it go, like let it go, let this melanin messenger thing go for now. And I remember saying, well, what about all the Black people? What are we gonna do? What about us? What? And the message that I got, it was so clear. It was so clear that I couldn't argue it. And the message was, let it go. A portal will open. A portal will open that will make the work that you're doing land. Excuse me, be mindful of the noise, please. Thank you. That a portal will open and your job will be much easier. That it will land differently in a way that people can really get it. So when I say it was by Friday of last week, because I saw the George Floyd video on Tuesday. Wednesday, I was out of it. Thursday, I was consumed with media. By Friday, it was like the protests were really erupting. And I started to see, oh gosh, okay, right? Then Saturday, I said, is this really happening? Like, this is really happening. The global, right, where it wasn't just us protesting. There were every protest that I saw, particularly the European protests. we're 90% non-Black. And I thought all that time that we were the only ones who were hurting, who were angry, who were fighting, right? Who cared, you know? Hi, Renee. I thought we were the only ones. And to look at the protests in Amsterdam, in London, in Canada, in Oregon, which, oh my God, Oregon is like one of the most racist states in the United States. They had a smaller crowd, but still they had a crowd, right? In Australia, all throughout the United States, in Africa, man, the way they bombed the U.S. Embassy. Well, not literally bombed it, but just like attacked that thing. And just everywhere, that I was able to see for the first time in my life that there are large, millions and millions and millions of non-Black people who care. And they're caring and they're showing it with their dollars, with their voices, with the decisions they're making, protesting, making phone calls, like all that, transforming, doing the work, buying courses, learning about anti-racism. And this is the portal opening that Spirit told me about when I was walking down Monkey Forest Road in Bali last summer. This is the frickin' portal. Hi from Austin, right on. Germany too. Germany too. Yeah, you're right. How do we know each other, Renee? I'm looking at your name. Your name doesn't ring a bell. Could you share this video, please? I'm actually going to try to share it one more time. I was having some tech stuff earlier. I'd like to see if I can get some more people here. I swear I'm gonna have to figure YouTube out, honey, because... Hi there, I've had a couple more people come in. Talk to me, who's there? Like, I wish I could just like, all of this coming and going, and like, I'm here to answer questions and to work with folks. Share. How do I share on my timeline? Sharing a group, sharing an event. I'd like to share this on my timeline. What kind of crap is going on here? This is so lame. Normally I can share on my timeline. Does Facebook not allow that anymore? Anyway, so and then plus the questions help. You know, it's like I know where I'm striking, and then I can help people go deeper in an area that matters for them. So I want to share that about how I even got here to be here today. So I will be here live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific for the entire month of June. For the entire month of June, I will be here. And also on YouTube. I'm just so distracted by this, but let me close this. And I got to see my notes too. So there's going to be a link with this video where to subscribe to my email list, because there's public material that I can share, and then there's private material that I will share. The reason why that exists, there is so important to have this, for me to share this with you. Black transformational people, first of all, I'm talking specifically to transformational leaders, coaches, healers, etc. Many of us do not recognize how upside down and corrupt we are. At the deepest level, we're pure and we're righteous at the deepest level. But up top, these layers in between, let's say this is the deepest level that is pure, that is righteous, It's all these other places on top that have squashed the purity over time. When I say the purity, I mean the purity of power, the purity of vibration, the purity of knowing. And so a lot of people, like even as I've been here, people coming and going, just all over the place, no direction, right? Maybe come when they feel like it, when they're in the mood, all that, right? Then there are the people who are hungry for deeper, right? Remember I said there's levels. And so the people who are hungry for deeper, when I'm done here, I'm going to place a link with this video. That's how you send me your email to notify me that you wish to go deeper, that you want the private material that I will not be sharing on a public, anybody and their mama can look at it forum, okay? And to even elaborate on that, in doing this work with restoring melanin transformational leaders, coaches, healers, speakers, teachers to their original power, there's a graduation. And what I would like is that by the time you actually work with me, you've been able to gut yourself with the material that I shared through my email list through these videos. Because by the time you get to me, it's highly, the word polarizing is coming to mind. It's very disruptive because all the illusions that currently burden your system, that currently burden your right way of thinking, your right way of being, your right way of speaking, all of it is being destroyed very rapidly the closer you get to me. And so when you're at a beginner level, it's really good to look at all this free stuff, these videos, emails that I send, because they're rich, they're powerful. And it demonstrates your willingness to go through levels, because you might get to a certain level where you're like, I'm done right here. You know, let's say you start right here, and then you go, and then you go, and then you're like, I'm cool, I stay right. That's what you're made for. There is, man, you're wired a certain way or you're not. This is not an opinion. This is not to create some kind of false, illusory hierarchy. Some people are made to go to certain heights spiritually that others are not. A kind of connection that others are not. How many pastors do you know whose congregation, right? And that's just on the front. What about other kind of pastors who are doing deeper kind of spiritual work that's not even for the camera? You see what I mean? There's different levels to this. And so I invite you to use the link with this video that I will place here when I'm done, and send me your email, and you'll get, you know, invitations for classes private classes where I'm going deeper and that kind of a thing. All right, so why is money a gateway? That's what I'm getting ready to go into. And what I also ask is that for those of you who will watch this as a replay, or for you who's here now, anything I share here or any other thought that you have that's, you know, in this domain that you like me to elaborate on, or an idea that you have a question about, I invite you to post it in the comments section, because I will look at it and potentially discuss it when I'm here live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the entire month of June at 12 p.m. Pacific here on my Facebook business page. And I'm going to work to set it up to where I don't have this YouTube problem, so I can also stream live on YouTube at the same time. So I would love that, because I think it was Monday's video or Wednesday's video that I did was because on Monday, Mashika made comment of something that I elaborated on Wednesday, and she appreciated that. And obviously others get a chance to benefit from that too. So remember that. So why is money a gateway to power? I love this. Why is money a gateway to power for melanin transformational leaders, coaches, healers, and teachers? Why is it a gateway? And how to use it as a gateway? What makes it a gateway is that specifically in this domain of coaching, healing, transformation, it only applies here. mostly, right? We can, there are some elements of it that apply to people who are doing things like accounting and doctors and things of this nature. But by and large, we're talking about melanin transformational leaders who, by its very nature, is doing very spiritual work, right? So in order to, in this domain, get to a place where you're making the money that your heart genuinely desires, because in the world of transformation, you determine your pricing based on heart. It's not an arbitrary, I don't know, $500. I don't know, that seems right. I don't know, $200, that seems right. You know, just smacking numbers on there. No, you decide what the number will be based on a heart level. Right? So what's the genuine desire here for? Why are you doing this? Is there something in particular that you're looking to invest in that's important to your life, the quality of your life, your family's life, your client's life? Is there some reality you're looking to create that you have done the math and have determined that it's going to cost this amount of money? This is how you come up with your pricing for things, right? Now, when it's time for you to go out into the marketplace and then present whatever it is let's say you're a health coach, right? And your thing is helping women really come into the power of their bodies and the cosmic intelligence that they can tap into to be able to manifest their king or a baby or, right? Whatever kind of goodness, richness that they're looking to create. And let's say you know you're undercharging, right? And you're ready because you've gotten clear with your numbers, you've tapped into your heart, you know what this means for you, why it matters. The work that will be required of you to go from wherever you are right now in this undercharging place to your heart numbers, okay? This work in between is the gateway to you coming into the power that you seek. And the reason why I call it original power is because there's nothing new about this power. This is not make-believe. This is not like trendy Instagram cute pink power, right? This is the power from which you come from, right? You come from, and there's been this long voyage in between, right? Everybody talks about slavery. Hardly anybody talks about who you were before slavery. What your family was doing, how it was constructing, how it was creating, the way it was living before slavery. Take it back. You want to paint a picture? Paint the whole picture, right? We are like humanity could not exist if black people didn't exist. Africa can exist without all other countries. No other country can exist without Africa. Get it right, okay? Hey, Brighty. I'll repeat that. Africa can exist without any other country. Yet, there's no other country that can exist without Africa. So everybody's feeding, right? So apply that and remember, and this is work. This is why I'm saying, watch these free videos. Like if you're really new to coming into this original power, leading from blood intelligence, which I'm going to get into more next week. Leading from blood intelligence. Ensuring and practicing, which I'm also going to be teaching you, which that teaching, you want to make sure you use the link in this video with this video. I'm going to post it here when I'm done to subscribe to my email list because I'm going to be teaching you right language. So, right language, right way of being, right way of thinking, right language, right way of being, right way of thinking. When you start getting this in order, what happens is you open up the channels inside yourself that starts to connect you with the highest powers, not just the high power, the highest powers. and you start to return to your original nature. Now that sounds glorious. I get it. That sounds mighty glorious. In real life and in action, it is highly disruptive. Yet, when you get through on the other side of the disruption, you are a refined, sovereign being. Now, the disruption will occur multiple times for you. It's not a one-time gig. It's again and again and again. And some people will quit, right? And something that I'm sensing right now is that with this portal that has opened, more people will be melanin transformational leaders, will be able to withstand the disruption and get through to higher levels. Man, I know this. This is true. This is true. And I have it so much for people. If you're a young person, hearing my voice right now and you wish to be a part of spreading this message, reach out to me. Even if you're not a young person. When I say young person, I mean under 32. Young people, gosh, that's a whole other conversation. It's going to be the spirit, the highest spirit, that's going to have this do what it's meant to do, along with me following instruction and not just bulldozing because I want to hurry up and bulldoze, you know? So please be in touch with me if you find it in your heart to be a part of disseminating this information. So, let me elaborate on what this looks like. I have a story to share with you on what it looks like to use money as a gateway to returning to your original power. So, I used to charge, when I first came into the transformation space in 2011, I started charging, maybe like $300 a month or something like that. I can't remember, but it was just a few $100s or something. Hi, Leslie. I don't think we've met before. Feel welcome, you guys. This is not just, I want you to know that I very much welcome your questions and your thoughts about this topic, or even parallel topics as it relates to being a melanin transformational leader, teacher, coach, healer, and coming into power around money, whether you're just starting to make money or you're now ready to jump into bigger numbers. So I'm getting ready to share a story about the first time I got my first $10,000 client, and to really demonstrate how money is a gateway. So I talked earlier about, being at this dollar amount, and your goal is to get at whatever the dollar amount is based on your heart. And this space in between acts as a gateway to power. So I was charging about $300 a month, and I remember it was in me to create more. It wasn't, a lot of people want to create, 5-figure packages because it's cute and it's exciting, and it can be done, and right. My experience is it has to really be in your heart to do this. Like, there has to be an actual burning desire to have, do, or be something for a person to not only make one, it's easy to do one $10,000 client from some hustle, right? But to have it be a normal reality for you, there's a heart-driven function to this. So I remember I was really ready to have a $10,000 client. Now, I started at like a few hundred, and then I went up to 500, and then I went up to $700 or $750, and then I went up to $1,000, I think it was. And so I went incrementally. And I remember at one point I was like, I just want one $10,000 client. I'm ready. I want one $10,000 client. And so I remember before I did that, though, I think I was at $500 a month to work with me privately. This was in like early 2012. So this was a long time ago, early 2012. And I remember when I was at like 500 and I was ready to go up to 700. Like, I knew I wanted to do the 10,000, but I wasn't ready yet, because remember I told you there's work in between. And so At this time, I was not aware that there's a such thing as a relationship with money. I wasn't aware of the internal landscape, what's going on in here, the work that's required, the language that's required to create any kind of high ticket client, whether it's a $5,000 client or a $100,000 client. And so I remember, sounds so ridiculous right now, but I remember struggling, like, should I do 700 or 800? Like, something about that $100, right? It has nothing to do with the money. It has everything to do with what's going on in here. The money is nothing without what I make it do in here. What I make it mean, how I make it feel. It's nothing aside from that, right? So I remember I was like, should I do 700? Because I was raising my prices from 500. Should I do 700? Oh, God. And I remember I went to 700 and a woman signed up with me. Then she canceled. So this is one of the things that a person does when they're trying to force a number versus doing the work inside that's required to where it's an easy sell and it sticks, right? So I was using a lot of make myself charge $700 and you can do it, like just using will alone, trying to use willpower, and willpower doesn't last over the long term. Like, she signed up but she canceled, right? And then I felt like, oh God, what am I gonna do? And So I remember I came across a money coach. I had remember, this is 2012. Like, today it's normal. You see them all over the place. Money coaches and money healers and money, right? I started teaching about coming into power with money. Like, it's a thing now, right? 2012, to my knowledge, it was not a thing. But there were some who were around, right? And when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So this woman named Monica Shaw, maybe some of you guys have heard of Monica Shaw. She somehow, I found out about her. She's a money coach, and she was having people do this. She offered some free something. I don't remember what it was, but something free where she had us recall our first relationship with money. So this is when I started to learn that there was a such thing as a relationship with money. And that there's a way to ready yourself. She didn't say it like that, but basically to prime yourself to be magnetic to money, right? And we did this assignment where we had to look at our first relationship with money. I'm pretty sure this was Monica who I did this with, because I ended up doing some work with a couple, 2-3 people. And so I did it. My first memories, very, very, very first memories of money, and my emotions around that and the memories around that. This is the work. This is the work. When you're currently at, $100 an hour, and you're like, I know $500 an hour is for me, which, by the way, per hour is not the way, right? But let's just say for this example, we'll keep it at that, right? The space between $100 an hour and $500 an hour is the work. So this is the work that I was doing, looking at my very first relationship with experience with money. So I invite you to do the same thing, right? You sit down, pen and paper. What is my first memory with money? Take notes, take notes, take notes. What is my very first memory of money? Sit down, quiet, and then it just came. And then what did I make that mean? What did I make that mean? Wow, I was crying. I was crying doing this assignment. This is the work that's required of you between a $1,000 client and a $10,000 client. This is right here. This space in between. This is the work, okay? And when you send me your email with the link that I'm going to place with this video when I'm done, you're going to learn the language, the right language, the way of being, and the way of thinking, so that you too know how to navigate this gateway to more money. So I remember what I didn't know, because see, all the money stories that you have is in your subconscious. You don't even know that it's running the show. What I didn't know is that my memories of money, early memories of money, which were like at 9 years old, 7 years old, what I had made that stuff mean was that other people can have what they want, but I can't have what I want. So what that looked like as an adult for me, so you will see this for yourself, look at yourself, what you've made these things mean. What I made that mean and how that looked is I would celebrate when people were making money and I saw coaches and leaders, you know, and out making money and growing. I'd be cheerleading for them and yes, and right, rooting for them and all that. But somehow I wouldn't let myself have the same thing. Because that old story where I decided and made it mean, it didn't mean that, but I made it mean that in my young mind. This is why it's so important to do the work to see what's running your show. Other people can have what they want, but I can't have what I want. So what's yours? Okay? This is the gateway, right? The gateway to original power. So I did that work, was crying. That cleared me out, readied me for more money. And I did some other work. There's more. It's not like it's ever over, but I did that. And I revisited this goal of $10,000, this $10,000 client. Hi, Teresa. These people, what's going on here? This is for you. Well, I wonder if it's just so, does this feel advanced for you? I'm wondering. Is this the core of it? I wonder. Or if this is common, normal, you know? All right. So I continued with my marketing after doing this work. Hey, Tracy Robbins. I continued doing this work of marketing my services, working with clients. Like all this is still happening, me working with clients while I'm doing this work with money. And I remember I started marketing the package. Now, I don't remember if I put the $10,000 price tag on my marketing or not. So I can't say if I did that. But this is my first time that I did it, all right? And this was in 2012, okay? I want to say like fall 2012 by this time, fall. And a woman, I think she was from Seattle. I remember she was from the West Coast. I won't say her name, but she inquired about my services at that time, which at the time, my brand was $1 Billion Courage. Baby. Oh, I have been around. My brand was $1 Billion Courage. And she inquired into some marketing that I had done. And I quoted her $10,000. She flew here to California to work with me on a VIP day. And then we did some virtual work together. And that was my first $10,000 client that stuck. Remember I told you about the woman who signed up to work with me at $700 a month and then she canceled? This gateway that I've been talking to you about, I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. And I'm going to help you do that because you're not going to do it alone. Listen, I am somebody who didn't even know how much I like doing it alone until I got slapped in the face trying to do it alone. Like I have loved being able to figure things out on my own and do it by myself and figure it out. Like there's a part of me that loves that. Okay. And I would not have crossed 7 figures in under 4 years. Just me behind my computer, hustling, marketing, hiring a team member to do this and that. There's no way. Now, one of the things that was, okay, wait, hold on, because I could see myself going off. Let me finish this thought. That was just my first $10,000 client. That was in 2012. Between 2012 and it was 2015 where I got it was 2015 where I got my first $65,000 client. So in between there, I still always hovered at around $7,000, $10,000-ish, you know, sometimes it'd even be $3,000 a month, right? So I would hover in there, right? And all of this in between 2012 and 2015, all of this is gateway to power. Gateway. So the reason why I'm giving it to you in this context is to help you understand that it's not, okay, it is about the money and it's not about the money. It is about the money in the fact that it allows you to fulfill your heart's desire. That matters, right? But what is so deeply rewarding and necessary, like you're not going to even be able to serve anybody or fulfill any heart's desire if you don't navigate the gateway. So I'm sharing this with you to paint what navigating this gateway looks like. There's doing work inside of a container, not going off trying to get there's a place for free stuff, right? There's a place for free stuff. And I feel like I'm talking to a lot of people who I'm talking to are under the 6-figure mark. There's a place for, as I've said to you, if you're relatively new to connecting with high spiritual powers, my free stuff is enough for you right now. These videos, using the link with this video, which I will place there when I'm done, using the link with this video to subscribe to my email list to get the even deeper things that I'm going to offer there, that could be enough for you, because the real depth of what I'm doing, is restoring us, and it's not all of us, restoring us to the power that ruled nations and kingdoms benevolently, that served the people. The kind of power and connection with high spiritual powers and ways of being and thinking. And when I say thinking, I don't even mean brain. I was out on a walk this morning, and my higher mind was trying to connect with me, and my brain kept trying to usurp it with brain thoughts. Okay, I'm not going to go deep into this because this is an advanced way of being. But I kept seeing my brain trying to usurp my higher mind. And I had to be like, and then it just hit me, oh my God, this is another indicator. Like, it's my job to even discern who is a melanin transformational leader who is here to serve at this level, and who is a melanin transformational leader who's meant to serve at this level. Minus the ego. This is not about hierarchy and better than. Listen, the high spiritual powers are going to boot and place people anyway, regardless of what the ego tries to do. High spiritual powers are going to come in and correct it anyway, because it doesn't allow any of the ego brain stuff that the mortal brain tries to do. So there's nothing to be concerned with in that domain. And so ultimately, meaning what I'm made for, and this has been impressed into me even more in the last year. And when I facilitated that course last spring, 5-figure clients for Melanin Messengers, it got impressed into me in a really deep way that there are levels that most people will be fine with my free material and a relatively inexpensive course. And then there are those who are made. It's high spiritual law. It's already in order. It's not of my, want. This is what I want. Want is petty. Want is lack. Okay? It is already of high spiritual order and high spiritual law for them to teach what only they can teach. It's not a mashup of things you can go find on Google and in somebody else's book, or can be grioed to you, right, through a storyteller. It is an endowment. You are born as such. And there are only certain people on this planet. I know it to be true. With some evidence. I do have some now. But I knew this before I had the evidence. And it was my job. I could not have gotten here had I not listened to the call. even if it was bit by bit, because it was slowly at first, it was like, it's profound. Particularly at this place where I am now, it just is, right? It is so. When this first started to be revealed to me, it was profound. And to those who are, as I said, just learning about high spiritual law, high spiritual order, it is entirely too much for their system. I've had too many clients who have thrown up, like I've let them come in too close, and I take responsibility for that. It was part of my learning, my real world learning. Too many clients who literally just went ghost, no explanation. And this is over the years, not even just this is over the years. And I ignored it, I discounted it, I didn't give it the credence, but it kept happening. Clients who would just go ghost, you know, they pay all their money and then go ghost. Clients who would throw up during VIP days, who would have to go to the hospital and would come back and tell me, Naima, it's because of this work that I'm doing. I feel it all throughout my body. I feel it all throughout my system. Other clients throwing up. Clients, like literally, I had a client whose laptop a brand new laptop was just weird and malfunctioning. And she said, Naima, I want to get on a plane and bring this laptop to you and just sit it in your presence. Because she got it. She knew it. And there's a part of me that wishes that I could just gather up all the Melanin Transformational leaders and coaches and healers and bring us into my world. When I say, please know that when I say my world, I mean the world of the Most High. You come into my domain, we're talking about connection with the Most High, okay? And the truth is, which I've had to learn through experience, is that so many of us are so corrupt psychically. Remember I said in our core space, we are pure, untouched. But everything in between, which is the gateway, okay? Everything in between is corrupt. Psyche, our lens through which we see things, our interpretation of things, corrupt. So while I wish, man, gosh, that I could just take in, right, and personally work with. And that's why this free stuff matters. That's why you clicking the link with this video and opting into my email list to get that there. Some of it will be free, some of it will be paid, okay? Hey, Norris. That's why it matters, so that the people who either are not meant to be close to me, meaning like their wiring can never, right? Or the people who don't even necessarily wish to get close, but wish to, you know, extract and take, frankly, which is fine. That has its place. They can have that, okay? And I am here for the few who, where it's clear. So, Norris, have you been watching over the last, 20, 30 minutes? And what are your questions? What do you have to say? So lastly, so this is the gateway. Lastly, some things that you can do to take away from this video to start to come into full power. I'll say, before I go there, this is not for the average. Maybe, right? No, no. See, that's the part of me that really, take everybody in. a lot of Black people can, like entrepreneurs, like who are outside of the transformation space can, you know, okay, wait, I'm going to pause for a minute. Talk to me. Talk to me. What is up? Okay, how about this? Tell me why you're not talking to me. Tell me why you're not talking to me. Right? Because people do and they have their reasons. Tell me why you're not talking to me. I don't know who's here. I see people who have shown up on my screen, but that doesn't mean you're here right now. Tell me why you're not talking to me. I'm telling you, I'm going to figure this YouTube thing out. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I already gave the example of looking at your first memories of money. What do you remember? Sit down. Give yourself the time. Are my comments not working? Maybe because that happens sometimes. Or people are commenting, and then when I hang up, I got all these comments that weren't showing up on my screen. Let me check. Oh, there's one. Oh, hey, Mashika. So I guess my comments are working. I was seeing people showing up, but I was checking to see if maybe people were commenting and they just weren't showing up. So I guess comments are working. And people just are choosing to stay quiet. Okay, got it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, Mashika, I'm not sure how much you've heard, but I would love to answer some questions. And, you know, I can answer questions that other people either cannot answer or they just cannot answer. They just can't. So I would love to answer some questions about money being a gateway to full power. Good morning, Felice. Money being a gateway to full power. I would love it. So what questions or comments I'd love to address? If there's something here I can address, I would love that. Somehow, oh, here we go. So to reiterate, I'm going to be here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific for the rest of June. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific for the rest of June. It's time for me to start to get this material out. The conditions are really ripe right now for me to get it out. I'm so grateful. What else? When I hang up here, I'm going to be placing the link with this video that I keep talking about. So give me about 10 minutes to do that. But that's the link where you send me your email to get the training that I'm going to offer. I'm not sure how, like if it's going to be, all three and probably going to be separate. Who knows? But it's going to be the right way to think, the right way to speak, and the right way to be so that you... I know I constantly talk about money because it's the domain that I'm, have a lot of heart around and really care about and I'm skilled at. However, this cultivation of power and the gateway allows you to create whatever the reality is. A kind of energy in your house, relationship with everybody in your life, your body, just like really coming into sovereignty. Sovereignty. All right, I don't see any questions. So I'll say this lastly. Go back and look at the replay to see the exercise that you can do. if you're looking at this as a replay, also, please post here, because I definitely do come back. On my last video, there were several comments that replay viewers posted, and so I know that people are watching and, you know, have something to say. If you really intend to lead, because next Monday, most likely, unless something just comes and slaps it off the water and causes me to push it out to Wednesday or Thursday, next Monday, I'm going to be talking about leadership from blood intelligence. Oh, hey, I'm going to be talking about leadership from blood intelligence. I'm going to look at your comments in just a moment. Those of you who have decided that you're going to be leading your organizations differently because you're coming into power, leading your households, leading yourself first from a place of sovereignty, and you're ready to come into right language. When I say right language, I don't only mean what comes out of your mouth. I mean the language that runs through this domain. Right language, your right way of being, and your right way of thinking, okay? If you have decided that you're going to lead, you're going to do it inside of an adequate container, whether it's with me or with somebody else. You're not going to do it sustainably. Like if you're just going to be around for a month or 6 months, go ahead, right? If you plan to be around for the long term, it's critical. It's not like, oh, I'll think about it. It's optional. No. That you're in a container that can withstand all that will happen in your life, that you can come to as you're coming into power and going through these gateways, right? Coming into power with money and everything else that coming into power causes in your life, okay? All right, is there a spell check? What do you mean spell check for what? Let me go back and see what Mashika said. I have just started my journey with spiritual work of shadow alchemy. Good. Is there any other, is there any words of wisdom you can share with you? That's broad. So if you have a particular matter, that would help me really laser in on you, because I would love to answer that. So if you have a specific issue, right? Let's laser this in, because words of wisdom, I mean, about what, right? There's so many words of wisdom depending on the situation. Felice, I'm going to jump back. Okay. Is there, hey Merle, is there a spell check? When you say spell check for what? Please share this video. That's another thing. Please share this video. We got off to a slow start because I was trying to figure out this tech, but I'm not going to allow that to happen again because that's annoying. But please share this video. And I'm just sticking around to see if Mashika is going to share specifically. Mashika, if you have a particular matter that you'd like to ask about, hey Merle, so I can answer that directly, right? This is very personal work. This work is very personal. It's very intimate. And there's your way, right? It's so important to respect your way. Wait a minute, did Facebook just... Baby, your Facebook changes overnight, gives you no warning. So Mashika, nothing? Otherwise I'm gonna go, girl, Facebook literally just changed as I've been sitting here. Getting your thoughts together. Well, here, I'm gonna go. This is what you can do. You can, in this video, I'm gonna go get the link for folks to put their email, to send me their email and put that with the video. And if your comment or question is there, by the time I'm done posting the link, which I'm gonna do here in the next 5 minutes or so, if your thoughts are there, then I'll answer it there. How about that? And then if not, I'll come back later, right? And this applies to everybody, right? I'll come back later and answer any questions that are posted there, right? So I'm gonna go get this link right now, post it above the video for you guys to send me your email for those of you who are ready to go deeper and start to get into the language, thoughts, and ways of being, the right high ones. And I will be here for the rest of June, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook, and also live on YouTube simultaneously as soon as I figure out YouTube. Great, thanks. Yay! All right, thanks a lot. Bye, guys.